Hi everyone, I'm Hui, and today we'll be talking about service layer agreements or SLAs in DataMiner. This is the first of two SLA videos. This one is a general overview focusing more on the SLA data that you can consume. In the next one, we will tackle configuration. Let's get into it. In DataMiner, an SLA is all about tracking real-time availability and managing services from a value-added business perspective, like knowing at the end of each month or any other time window how the service performed. Did any outages occur? Did it violate set limits and thresholds? Beyond that, it allows you to receive early warnings when SLAs degrade in order to prevent those breach penalties. This is the same service we went through on our other video covering, well, services. I pointed out then we'd cover the business layer another day. Today is that day. The business layer here contains performance indicators that come from the SLA service we have here in the surveyor tree. You can see the SLA is represented as another item in your system. This one is tracking the availability of the Olympics off-air service. So how do you create one? You can add an SLA to your system the same way you would add any other DataMiner item. Right-click on the surveyor tree, New, and SLA. I'm not about to create one from scratch today, but I will go ahead and edit the existing SLA, which will bring me to the same form anyway. This is where you give it a name. The service field here is key. This is where you select the service that this SLA is supposed to monitor. As we can see, it is set to the Olympics off-air we are now well familiar with. I should now mention that an SLA object is defined by an open XML format, a DataMiner connector actually, which is why there is a protocol field here so you can select your SLA definition. And just like any other DataMiner protocol, you will have to select a version. Production is always recommended. You can of course link alarm or trend templates too. We can see here as an example that alarms will be generated once the availability drops below certain values or depending on the discrete compliance values. Critical seems adequate when compliance is set to breached indeed. Let's go back and actually open up the SLA. This is the visual overview currently attached to the SLA. You've seen these metrics before on the visual file of the service itself. Compliance status tells you whether you have breached your contract or not, or whether you're about to. Compliance can have either of four values. Compliant means the SLA has never been violated and is currently not being violated. Compliance degrading means it is currently being violated. Compliance degraded means it has been violated but not beyond acceptable limits. And finally, breached means it has been violated beyond the acceptable limits and you should prepare your wallet. I managed to breach it because this SLA is configured to allow a maximum of only 2 violations. Like I said, we will cover SLA configuration on another video, so stay tuned. This is the count of individual violations to your SLA so far. Admin state tells whether the SLA is tracking or not. For example, when you perform service maintenance and you don't want the expected outages to affect the SLA, you temporarily disable the admin state. The availability is the percentage of time your service was compliant during the current window so far. Finally, we also have history statistics section that is listing total performance data on a weekly basis because this SLA is configured with a weekly window. We have start and end time, final compliance status, total availability and violation time, number of violations, you get the idea. It goes all the way back to 2018. However, if we go ahead and navigate to the SLA's data page, we will find additional SLA data. I can't cover them all, but it's worth to point out a couple more. The predicted compliance represents the final expected status of the SLA according to the specified objectives and presumes a linear trend in the violations. Example, if it is set to jeopardy, means that if the service keeps on failing at the current rate, the SLA will be breached by the end of the window. The outage list shows a history of all severity changes of the tracked service together with a timestamp and the SLA status. This allows the admin to correct the impact of a violation and define a motivation for the corrected percentage. DataMiner and its SLA capabilities are designed for multi-vendor infrastructures built on top of dynamic service technology and allow you to track real-time SLA data, manage internal and external services, suspend tracking based on events and schedules, and leverage comprehensive violation history and statistics. We have a full in-depth SLA course on our Open Dojo community, so do visit, don't forget to register. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll cover SLA configuration. I hope you enjoyed this one and I will see you next time.